What is this, bro? Look at that. Guys, it's just a fantastic moment. Me meeting with I am Marwa Soldier, and we are just in lunchtime edition, so we can just take something. This is what is called a plantain plantation. It's just a boiled plantain plantation, so as we can just take it on a lunchtime edition. And this is how they just look like. Wow. Hey, what's up, bro? This is a strong tea, and salt. What's up, bro? Everything is cool here.
Everything is a manganyo.
Wow. I was a chief chef here. It's just boiled plantain plantation, and this is where the fire is coming from. So guys, here it's just the lunchtime edition, so as we can just go back to the fish farming edition, so as I can just bring you more hint about where we have just reached in terms of the second fish pond, and everything is coming to you live and direct from this position. This is the lunchtime edition. Wow. So guys, it's just a lunchtime edition here. This is just the bananas, and you are taking no. Take them from here. So we are just eating some of the plantain plantation, and this is the crew members we have here, and we are just working in the fish pond where I am Marwa, Medellin, and this is the protocol after lunchtime edition. This is how we just sit down and just relax and eat some of our lunch. And whenever we finish now, we are just going back to work, and I will just be showing you how we are just protruding and how we are just going on with the work of the second fish pond today. So this is so awesome.
Wow. With the black
Strong
tea, guys. It's black tea.
Strong tea.
Does it have sugar?
A little bit.
A little
You
bit.
hear it.
You hear the sugar, but you don't taste the sugar.
You don't taste
You hear the
sugar.
sugar. Wow, guys, look at they're using. Imagine these, to take it. I need to test one.
Yeah, you can just test.
Guys, imagine now this is the.
Also,
Anyway,
Also,
guys, I don't want to burn.
Alex is complaining that it has to be given time so as he can just consume.
Guys, I am Boke here. First time being at it's Gintu's channel. Kindly subscribe to my channel, and I'm here to get the information about it's Gintu. Oh my God, it's Gintu. I am Boke. It's not my channel, and that's why. Thank you so much, Gintu. This is the manager, engineer, the fish farmer, the everything, the chief chef.
Is that a shout out?
The chief chef. Yeah. So guys, we are having these are lunchtime here, lunch break, and I'm here to make Marwa's hair and the manager's hair. So guys, kindly go check me out at @IAM_Boke. You want to watch the amazing video and also get to know the information from It's Gintu. So guys, stay tuned as we are going to show you everything. Thank you so much.
Boom. Now we are full, the stomachs are full, so as we can now go back to the work and continue with where we just left for a break. And this is where now this prosperity is just ongoing. Come with me so as I can just roll out and show you where we have just reached and what are we just doing for this day today. Come on with me. You can just remember yesterday, this where we just concreted this ditch until the far end, and now it's just secure and it's just good for this moment, and no water is just oozing out from this section anymore. And to this fish pond inside here, we have some green bloom around the tiles, and I can just entitle that that kind of a bloom which is just appearing onto the tiles. That's just the algae concentration, or the algae, or the turbidity, green turbidity we are talking about, or we can just call it a green bloom around the tiles of where water has now reached. That is just there, and it will just be there because of the chlorophyll, and whenever light leads onto the water, that's what we shall have into this area, whereby the growth of phytoplanktons and also the zooplanktons do always occur, or they just into this water whenever we have this exposed to sunlight. So that's what the fish do always consume during the daytime and during the night time as a part of the feeds, extra feeds we're talking about. Guys, today this is the work where now today we have constructed here a small ditch which is just ongoing to be just dug downwards, so as we can just expose that background or the arrangement of hardcore, how they were just arranged onto this perimeter wall towards that far end of this side, so as we can just come up with this solution of handling this water in a way that it should not have a leakage anymore into this segment of this fish ponds alongside this panel here. And in a small synopsis on what we are just exposing, or we have to put it once and for all so as people can just learn, is that whenever this Medellin was just constructed here, this perimeter wall coming to this end up to that far end, it was just constructed into this area before the fish pond was just there, so as they can just unify this area, and it was part of the Medellin as the barrier for people accessing here. So whenever we're just given this kind of a contract, so that can just come up with a solution of this area, how we can just have a fish pond onto this area, I just recommended that I can just use this wall as part of my barriers of the fish pond, which is just number one. So I have to reunify this wall so as you can just have that strength to withhold the effect of water, the forces of water, and all the currents water does oppose onto the wall. So that's what we want to restrict. Is the same inside and the same outside. So this is the same way. Inside was just concreted, and now it's outside to be concreted, so as we can just come with this solution once and for all. And after this one, we are just going to embark into the fish pond, which is just number 2, so it can now be tiled and also to be highly compacted with some hardcore and to the bottom level of the pond, and everything will just be moving okay and okay and okay. So guys, whoever is just returning viewers or returning subscribers, thank you very much for watching my videos and supporting me so to continue with these vlogs of fish farming now and again. And this is the point to talk about. Fish farming is the project. Thank you guys, keep it locked. Guys, here we are just trespassing to my fish ponds there. They're just at the backyard there. And here we have, I am Marwa Soja, is just feeding some of the goats here. You can now see here. This is just a place where you can just get the grass and they can just graze. And this is just a pathway so as you can just trespass and access my my fish farm there, so as I can just do 2-3 things in terms of we can talk about the maintenance practices, and I'm just going to show you whatever I'm just going on with. And everything here, guys, is so possible
here is mud, this swamp.
It's very swampy,
and I don't have gumboot, guys.
Even me, I don't have gumboots here, you know, they're just here, they're just enclosed with this weather. So we are just going to where the fish ponds are. We do 2 aspects, and behind the camera is Hello Baby. What's up, Hello Baby?
So guys, I'm just here. I'm a cameraman to Ginty, and he's just going to the fish pond and do 1, 2, 3, guys. You see, it's a swamp area, so no gumboot. You must take careful.
Previously, we had here one of the fish pond. This fish pond that was just located here was one of the titles that I just came up with my own fish ponds there, because whenever I bought that land, this place here, there was a fish pond. So I ever been lured with this fish pond that people had here, and this what motivated me to come up with a fish pond of today. I have now 3 here. So from this was just like an observation, and I just made mine now possible, and I'm just the only person who is just undergoing this fish farming into this area. And this kind of others, they just died because of miscellaneous effect we can just talk about. which is just maybe mismanagement. We talk about a high cost of maintenance, talk about high cost of purchasing and rearing, time they can just take a lot of time to grow. To come up with such kind of a project, we should just have humility, so as you can just come up with such kind of a process ongoing. So this is the moment of the craziest part ever. And now I'm just from Marwa site, so I'm just heading to my own fish farming, which is just a half and a half a day, a half day and a half a day. So we can just chip into where now my project is.
You go, Steph.
This way.
There's no water.
It's just a little water there.
Okay.
I have to clad on my own suit. Let me be in my suit. And today's work is just slashing and getting some of the grass protruding onto the fish pond, so that I can just cut it a little and minimize the maintenance project. So as whenever I'm just continuing the project, the maintenance cost can just be low, as I am going to minimize some of the grass protruding onto the pond. So it's time to roll in. I don't know if you can just see some of the small fish, like those ones. I don't know if you can just view. And guys, as you can just remember the previous videos I've been posting, I ever came here with a very bulk luggage of some of the small fish that we just stocked here. I've just stocked here 2,000 fish onto this fish pond here. Here I've just stocked 1,000 there, and at that far end I've stocked 1,500. So in terms of that one now, they are just going on with their own life. You can now see them. Hello, baby.
Yes, I see them.
Very small, eh? They are going on with their life, and that's what now we are just going to maintain this fish pond, so they can now grow very quickly, and we just get the market demand. So I have where, here in a local area, we have a place where we always get to put our own equipment. So I have my equipment here. This is just a slasher, and I'm just going in onto the second fish pond, so as I can now slash everything. The only rhyming things we have, me and Marwa, both of us, we have 3 fish ponds stocked, they're just constructed ready. But whatever I'm just in front of him is just, I have stocked mine, and mine are just called the earthen fish ponds, but Marwa's are called the flying beam fish pond. So I'm just going in. Wow. Somehow deep into this segment. So the ones I'm just going to cut is just these ones that are just protruding onto the fish pond inside.
Okay. Hey, slowly.
You have to cut. This just cut that protrude inside the fish pond, like these ones here. So I have to cut them so as I minimize them growing very quickly.
Okay. Hey, slowly. Your phone, you can interfere with your phone.
My phone?
Yes. My cameras are waterproof, so
yeah,
be careful.
My phone is a half waterproof. Yeah, sure.
Guys, crazy situation, crazy. Your phone is half of water.
Half waterproof.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, imagine this is the real life in the village here. You see?
So this one is at least, but I'm just going to this third fish pond there, which has now more of a grass accessing water point, and that's what now wants to do it once and for all. So this was just a recap on with the ones that are just growing day by day, because these ones I slashed some 2 days ago, but look at how now they are. So whenever I talk about how the growth rate is very high, because of we have these fish ponds here, are fertilized. So whenever they just fertilized, so we have this water here is already fertilized, you know. So there is a nutrients relevant for the growth of crops. So whenever the grass are just alongside this area, they do grow very quickly. Like these ones are 2 days slashed out, and today they have just reached that 15 centimeters up. So into this position, you should just keep on slashing day to day, so as you can just minimize the cost. Maybe you are just paying for people to slash. Thank you. So we are just going to the third fish pond. This cloth here to come out, it's a problem because they're stretching, you know.
And it's a waterproof.
It's a waterproof, yeah. It's a waterproof. You can just prove it. You can.
Boom.
So guys, I'm just going to roll. Look at how the fish are. They are somehow growing right now. You can just remember they have now 1.5 a week. So they are growing quickly, and I have now to start feeding them as soon as possible because they have now reached at a stage of now feeding to the starter mashes. Like you can talk about the starter mash of we call it 1 millimeter over the particles are just 1 millimeters in terms of diameter. So that's what we want now to enhance into this position. So I'm just going to slash first, so as I'll just be showing you on how we prepare the mashes for the feeds to just feed our fish and to this farm as a project continuing here. This is the big project for commercial purposes. Yeah.
So this is the second guy's fish pond, you know. Wow. Sorry guys, I'm coughing. I have some flu attacked me. Wow.
Can it now have a level maybe? Yeah, you can now see the level now, how I'm just coming out with that level. So I have to select here. So guys, this is how everything is just going on here. Have some of it's just a frog. You know, whenever I'm just slashing, I'm just always having some of the frogs are just hiding here, so they find themselves in a miscellaneous effect. And to this position, I have an outlet here. It's just an outlet, and I'll have to tie it with a net so as the small fish cannot just trespass out to the other part of this place, so as they can just be staying here. So guys, I have to remove this grass outside.
They collect all of the grass and throw outside, you see. Okay. So why do you remove this out grass? Why do you taking them out?
The grass has an effect, you know. Whenever I'm just slashing, I have some water splankling onto my face. So the aim of me just removing some of the grass outside is that during the night session there's there's a oxygen concentration into the water, so there's a what we call competition in terms of oxygen during the night, because night time the grass all the plants do consume oxygen during the night, and also the fish do consume oxygen during the night. So whenever you just leave this grass scatteredly, it's just going to be scattering alongside this fish pond here. So it's just going to minimize the oxygen level. But during the day like today, they're just healthful into this water, whereby they're now going to release some of carbon dioxide into the water, and oxygen into the water, and removing carbon dioxide from the water. And whenever now you leave them there, they're just going to decompose, and decomposition has oxygen into it. So it's now going to consume most of the oxygen level from water, and that is the moment that maybe some of oxygen level into this fish pond will just be lowered. So that we shall have to minimize it, so as this fish pond should have good oxygen concentration of the fish to just get in touch on it.
Okay.
So that's why I'm having to remove it outside for my fish to just have a good life staying into this fish pond here. Have you now seen the good thing about this kind of a cloth?
It's my first time to see this cloth here, for sure.
The first time?
And guys, in front of the camera, me, I'm not lying, you know. So this is the first time to see this waterproof protective gears, like for the gintus here, you know. Guys, sorry, the wolf attacked me, but I wanna take medicine. Okay, Gintu.
Yes.
There is some frog inside here croaking. You know, I heard from right there.
We have some frogs here, bro, and
They don't eat your fish?
no, they don't eat fish.
Or are mammals?
It's just an ecosystem we can talk about. An ecosystem is just a habitat. We have a habitat, and these are kind of the creatures that are always into the fish pond, are always into the water. But when you want to control them, you can just have whenever you harvest some of the fish from this area. So I don't harvest once, by the way, so that's now a problem and a challenge we have. If I can just be harvesting once, like now I've stocked all the fish ponds here and I'm going to harvest them once at all. So in that position now, when I harvest, I'll just use calcium oxide. Whenever now water is out and the fish are out, I'm just going to sprinkle here calcium oxide, so as they can just kill everything and we shall not hear something like frog croaking onto this area. So in that position, I'll just treat them if I just harvest once at all. But if you harvest one at each, they're just going to jump from one place to another, because it's just an ecosystem they are. So that's
okay, guys. Me, I was wondering, because when the frog croaking inside the fish pond, maybe the fish, guys, they can run outside of the fish pond, you know. So they want to interfere with fish and frog. We are here to keep some fish. Wow. So you are ready to go?
Yeah, now with this section, I'm just good to go. So you can now see how now the changes are. It's not like the previous time how it was, and I might just go. Do you want me to continue that part?
No, me, I'm tired.
You are leaving, eh? So the camera.
Tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired, for serious. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I'm feeling hungry. I'm tired like a goat, you know. When the goat is tired,
Yeah.
it starts calling, man,
Uh-huh.
man, man.
So have you started?
Me, I'm fearing inside of my stomach. I'm tired. I'm hungry and tired.
Okay, guys, it's just a good moment of me just meeting the guy behind the camera.
It's
it's
Hello
just
Baby
a-
Official.
Hello Baby Official. So he's just a competence and he'll just help me so as you can just view this video one-on-one from this my fish farming area and to this segment. So guys, it's just a pleasure to have you watching this video from this area once and for all, because this is the part to go. And whenever I just walk to Ayamaro, I also walk to mine, so as I can just go hand in hand. And sometimes this is for the business attraction, and it's just for the concentrate feeds I do use here as part of the feeds to feed my fish, which now are just going to come out by June this year. I'll just be showing you more about whatever I'm just going to come out with, and this is the new moment. Keep it watching Fish Farming Africa.
Yes, you know, guys, the cameraman was Hello Baby Official. When you see this barret, subscribe, like my videos, comment, share, guys. We are here to show you the reality, not faking, guys. Stay tuned.
Withdrawing this water from this fish pond here. So this was just the biggest fish pond, and it was just holding awesome amount of water inside here. But today it's just somehow withdrawn water. It's just a very little amount of water is just occupying this place here. Guys, I talked about most of the people are just asking about where I just get water. Do I have inlets into these fish ponds here? But I don't have any inlets. The only thing that I do have here is just the water drainages onto the fish pond. You can just show them where the water drainages are just coming in from. We have these fish ponds here. They don't rely any other drainages of water far from the drainage from the upper section of this fish pond here. So these are the drainages I have. You can see this drainage of water from this point here. I have that one. I have like 4 drainages onto this fish pond only. So guys, I have a lot of water onto this section. So as I talked about, this water table that's just being holded here, it's the same water table with holded at Ayamarwa site. Guys, the same drainages you see at this upper side of this fish pond, the same drainages are at that fish pond, whereby we can talk about why is this fish pond down and this one is just up. People might be asking that. The point is that this fish pond is down because it was just the first fish pond to be created at this point. So this area was just downwards, and the erosion had just took place. That's why it's just downward constructed. And that one is just up because that place was, the topography is just running to the top or to the far end up there. So the third fish pond relies on its own water from the upper section too, whereby it's just removed some fish. You can just come. But before we can just reach at that far end, you can now see how water is now turning into green. I showed you the protocol on what we are just doing in terms of fertilization of this fish pond. Look at now, water is now turning into green. But the other previous videos, you can now see water was somehow clear. But now it's now turning into green because of the use of the chime I talked about. If you have not yet looked at that video, you can just go back and see the video of, I wrote the title Chime was just there. So you can now see what chime and where we transport the chime from to where now the project is. Now that's the work of that chime. Maybe most of the guys might be just asking what's the protocol behind the use of that chime. It's because sometimes we can just talk about we can just talk about the green content now. You can see what is somehow becoming greenish in color. That is now sometimes that chime will now facilitate the growth of algae onto this fish pond, whereby it's just eaten by the tilapia fish the whole cycle life. Guys, this is the chime. If you never saw it in the previous videos, this is the chime we are talking about. It's just got from the slaughterhouses, whereby this is just the grass that the animal just eat. So it's now removed from the stomach when they're just slaughtered. Guys, the green content here is to facilitate the growth of the algae onto this fish pond here. And the second point, this chime, when it's just staying onto the water, it floats on top of water, so it will now facilitate and be the food for the second regeneration of installation of fish. And the third point is it will not allow any kind of snakes to trespass onto this point because of the scent. The fourth point is the water will be just natural, and you can just use this water to water your plants whenever you have the seed beds or the nursery beds. The fifth point is it will now create that barrier between the predators and the fish, whereby the predators cannot view the fish direct from the surface or any angle. So guys, this is the third fish pond here. You can see the water channels, how they're just running from the top surface area, drainage area of this fish pond. Because of you know, we have the land collapsing onto this area. So this area is somehow collapsing because of what we call the water content that was here was just forcing the land upward. So it needs sometimes it doesn't have any option for you to measure the fish pond when you are just going to construct it. So the water that's just withheld at this fish pond here will just create a straight channel where now it needs a straight way where it will now stay input in this fish pond. So you can see it trying to make its own way, which is just a straight line formation. So the land is just collapsing, so as the water can now pick this point and make it a straight line where it can now have a fish pond location. Look at this place, guys. It's just watery. You can see how it's just breaking this area, and the area is just collapsing at this area. We have so many sources of water. You can see how this fish pond is. You can see how the land is just collapsing to the fish pond here. Guys, this fish pond I just harvested all of these brood fish that were just stocked here, so as they can be reallocated before the predators can just get into them, or the fish can just suffocate before I get what I needed. So guys, this is just a channel created so as water can now pass through and go out to the river YouTube down there. Guys, I have ever talked about I am going to fence this land. I'm just talking about fencing the land because of the intruders, because of the theft. I have just harvested some sand here so as I can just use it to get a fence and just restrain the trees that withheld the fence that is just you know, the trees that are always put as a fence. So it will now be concreted onto that position. So the use of this sand is that. So the only point is just a cement and a fundi, or a person who is relevant for the fence, the doing of that fence, or replacing or getting that fence in touch with the trees. So guys, in this fish pond I talked about I had some seepages at the level of the dikes. So the dikes are these ones here, guys. The dike is what I'm just walking on. So at this area here, before I could just get this water hole to outside here, you can see there's just a land onto the river. So this land was just attached to this area here. So, but due to the time how it's just moving, this land collapsed onto the river because of the seepages from this fish pond here. So I had some seepages at this area here where water was just popping out from this area and that area that has a collapsed land inside there. You can see how this land is just collapsing from and to the fish pond, which is just beneath this area, guys. So that's the challenges I have. Most of the biggest challenges even is the feeds, guys. We have a challenge of the feeds always and always because they're just talking about the Hamas, talking about Israel, they're talking about Moscow, which is the Russia, they're talking about Ukraine. So we have a problem in terms of fish feeds. So to get them is just something expensive to purchase and grow this type of tilapia fish because the feeds are made with a lot of care so as they can just float on water because we are just installing the tilapia fish, which are the top feeders only. They eat the food that's just floating on top of water. So guys, the point behind that scene of the feeds here, we cannot use the feeds that are not concentrated because they are just made for the fish. We can just use them man-made feeds, but they have some limitations that will now bring harm onto the fish pond. The one point is when you use the man-made feeds, they are just going to settle at the lower point of the pond, whereby they're just going to rot there and bring toxic substances by the name hydrogen sulfide, which will accumulate onto water surface and it will just bring some harm, whereby it might kill some fish installed at this fish pond. Guys, this land here, it has so many kind of fruits here. We have some, look at this, guys. Do you know this one is just a guava plant that's just located at this area, and we have another one at the far end here. We have it here. Look at that one there. We have that one. We have avocado tree at that point there. We have avocado tree there. So this area has some fruits whereby if one can just access the land, can get to eat some fruits here. So guys, welcome back onto my channel. I just gave you an update whereby I'm just going to give you and tell you on how this stuff is just going to look. Look at now how straightforward and this dike is now. So it's now very strong, even if it has just been compacted with heavy weights here, so as it can now withstand the weight and the pressure of water from this side. So we have just we are now 80% that we have sealed all the seepages that have been recreated alongside the dikes. So guys, we can just show you how now the pathway is. So the only point is to just levelize at the far end so as we can have a straight dike whereby people can just walk and leisure alongside the pond here, guys. So it's just levelizing. So guys, this is the protocol that is just going on here, so as we can now make this dike as straight as possible to the far end where the wheelbarrow is, so as people can just walk here smoothly, minus having such spots and some clogging soil that has a heap that has heaped alongside the way, so as they can just maybe fall, maybe sometimes, you know. So guys, we are just going to straight levelize this part so as it can just be a level. So this was the hint of today, whereby we needed to seal all the seepages at this fish pond here, so as we can just make it one good moment ever possible. You can see this fish here, how it's just looking like. Let me show you. Look at this fish. it has some reddish scaled, whereby it has, you can just think that somebody has just hit it. As you can see, look at this. You can now think maybe somebody has just hit it. So the problem behind the scene of this stuff here, that people might just think it's like a disease that always get onto the fish, whereby they're just growing. So guys, this type of disease I'm just talking about can be treated, whereby you can just use something by the name salt. So as you can now dilute the salt and you can now pour onto the water, so as it can now neutralize the water, so as the survival value cannot just go down anyhowly, guys. I'll keep on just giving you the updates on how I'm just going to treat this water. That's why you should be just so observable in terms of fish farming, guys. I'll keep on giving you more details in terms of how to treat the kind of diseases that might attack the fish. So that kind of fish should be got out from the pond as fast as possible before it brings chaos onto the pond, via contaminating that diseases or water into, or just getting to other fish that have been stocked there, guys. That kind of disease should be treated. It's just treatable if you just get faster before it gets worse. So guys, it's today I've just known that maybe Marwa's fish pond has a slight sample of those kind of fish, whereby I am just going to show you on how we are just going to treat that pond, whereby because of it is lack of silt, it's just the silt is of a high pH at Marwa site. So we are just going to use salt to treat that water, so as we can now be able to say that the pond is now safe for the survival value of the other fish that are just stocked there. So guys, yesterday, if you can just